Hi there, Virgo. Welcome to a love reading for people in relationships or people who have exes that they are still feeling maybe emotionally connected to, people who are separated. Um, this is Raina Moon from Tarot Alchemy by Raina Moon. If you're not familiar with me, I have a main channel called Raina Moon Astrology where I do mostly astrology, but even a little tarot there. The reason that I started this channel, I was going to just have all tarot and keep that all astrology. But, reality kicked in and I realized that I had to have both in order to keep my content flowing because otherwise, it could really grind to a halt and I don't want to do that. I want to have two channels that are, consistent in that regard. And I could very well migrate all my tarot readings to this channel eventually, but it was like too abrupt a break, so I don't want to just completely do that. Um, but in any case, if you're interested in astrology as well, please check out that channel. Sorry, I kind of am irritated that I don't like to have to do these intros, but I'm gonna do them for the next couple of series of videos, maybe two or three, just to make people understand. Because sometimes people are like, "I know you have another channel. Why are you? That's sketchy that you're doing this and all that." And it's so anyway. um, And plus, I want people to know that I do astrology as well. Okay, so this is going to be, like I said, for people who are in relationships. Obviously, hopefully, people know that this is for people who have relationships that are struggling. If your relationship is sound, then and you're still like on pins and needles, that's something that you have to ask yourself because that's kind of like a fear within yourself, and that could lead to things happening that you don't want to happen. So you have to be confident when you're in a relationship that the other person is going to, that it's a mutual thing and all of that. So I just like people to understand what these readings are intended to do. And I'm going to do singles readings too, so love readings. So don't worry your pretty little heads. Wow. It's so funny how I get that card so often when I am doing these love readings, because it's like a lot of times it might be that the person's ready to just like say, okay, stick a fork in it, it's done. It's like, okay. And by the way, people who are Virgo, you could have inner planets in Libra, which means that it makes it harder for you to kind of go after things. You might hold back, hang back. And the reason that that's problematic is because sometimes we have no choice. We can't just be keeping the peace all the time. It's not healthy. The heart of the matter is the Justice card. And this is a card that is actually connected to Libra. It's interesting. This particular deck uses it as number 11 or lists it as number 11. A lot of the decks that I have the Justice card at number 8. I mean, is it 8? Yeah, 8 because no, the Justice card is normally 11. That's right. Sometimes it's number 8. It's like reversed with the Strength card. So this is actually what I normally see. And it's connected to Libra. And you see that the person is holding the scales of justice. And then you have the sword. I don't know if that's supposed to be the sword of truth. But really, the how I would is this is the heart of the matter is that you may be contemplating um, dissolving legally a union, but there's also the issue of fairness for some of you. So maybe with Virgo, a lot of times how I would see that is a person who is giving of themselves and they feel like the other person is just taking. And I'm not talking about, financially. It could be, but I'm talking mainly just like energetically, like um it feels like a one-sided relationship. And you could be married for 10 years. It's not like just somebody who's dating someone. I'm talking about could be like this has been going on for a long time because Virgo is a very help-oriented sign. Virgo people want to be of service, service-oriented, you could say. And so sometimes people take advantage of that because they can, because the person is putting themselves out there like that. Or they just are attracted to people that give of themselves because they are takers. We have in the past position that is informing this reading the Four of Cups. You can see by her body language and, the universe offering you love and you're not impressed, you're not taking it. Because it might be coming from a person who isn't really sincere, who's not doing something in accordance with the truth. Maybe it's too little too late and you have already started to sour, your feelings have started to sour and you're no longer as kind of committed or involved. You feel that sense of disillusionment about the situation. The higher message is the Empress, and this is the Earth Mother energy. While it is feminine, it can relate to either gender. And basically, first of all, this is about love. And yeah, there could be in some cases something about money. If you're in a relationship with someone and you are paying all the bills, or you feel like the other person is taking advantage of you financially, then I suppose it could be something like this, because this is a card of abundance. And so, but abundance is going to go both ways. So in other words, another person who is like, if you feel like there's some imbalances, maybe that's in every possible area, that could be a sign that this is not the right person for you. But also the Empress, like I said, is the Earth Mother. And regardless of whether you're a male or a female, if you, for instance, want to start a family, you may be really leery of doing so with this particular person. So that may be kind of that, what would you call it? A thing that you can't, I can't think of the phrase, but it's something that you can't like just ignore, because it's kind of like staring you in the face that this is a big deal, whether or not this person is parent material. What crosses you is the Eight of Wands, and this is, right below that Justice card. So you may have felt like things are at a standstill for some reason. Like the Justice card too, if you have tried to put something into motion and it has not advanced, it could be talking about that as well. But I have a feeling, because these readings are for people thinking about whether they want to stay in a relationship. So I'm not reading it as, okay, this relationship is already, being dissolved. I'm looking at it as a choice that you have to make. So the Eight of Wands is like, maybe you can't seem to get going on it. The Eight of Wands, when it's in the upright position, is a very fast and furious kind of like a lot of things happening at once. Well, this is going to be the opposite of that. And it might be because you know what you need to do and it is causing you to kind of procrastinate. What is coming in is the Nine of Cups, and it's in the reversed position. This is a card that is a very positive card. So when it's reversed, it's not going to be negative, but it might be excessive. It's a card of something great happening to you. And, you know, it could be even financial, but with the reverse, with the cups, it is specifically about emotions. But because it's upside down, to me, it might be a situation where, again, with timing, the timing may be off. And we are in July having a Mercury retrograde in the middle of the month. So anything that you're trying to advance, it might have to wait until late August for it to really take root. But this could be a situation that is promising. However, you, Virgo, because you might be filled with anger in some cases, depending on what has happened in your relationship, and the temptation to rub it in, because this can be a card of smugness. A person is getting something good and they are probably having a hard time containing their feelings of glee. And it's really important to do that because that way you show that you are the bigger person, that you're not vindictive, and you don't want to jinx it either. The outcome is the Five of Wands. This is a card. I was going to pick an additional card, but I said, no, I'm not going to because of the nature of this reading. This is a card talking about conflict. And there can be multiple factions within that conflict. So the reason that this could be happening is because it is, it might be delayed, but eventually it's going to happen where things heat up. And if you're somebody who kind of shies away from that, then you're going to have to get over yourself because you're not going to be able to make things happen unless you're willing to tolerate conflict. So I'm just going to leave that there because I think it's very important. So that's what I have for you. Of course, this is just a general reading. Obviously, it's not going to apply to everybody in this situation. If you would like a private tarot reading or astrological reading or combination thereof, I have some package deals with the combinations. Please check out my website. I'm at rainamoonastrology.com. The link is below. Thanks for watching. Bye.